shooting in the library. Stay where you are. We'll be coming to each floor clearing.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Some intense video you're seeing right there. Continuing with our coverage of the overnight shooting at FSU that left 3 students injured and the gunman dead. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Myers.
And I'm Sean Tonight. This just into the newsroom. The Associated Press is reporting that law enforcement officials have identified the shooter as FSU alumnus and attorney Myron May. Now, you just saw multiple videos there shot inside by students there at Strozier Library as those tense moments unfolded. Eyewitness News reporter Julie Montanero is live on the scene with the very latest. Julie?
Good afternoon. Florida Governor Rick Scott was just here on the Florida State campus, and he asked everyone to pray for the victims of this shooting and for everyone impacted here at Florida State. Here's what we can tell you happened early this morning. At about 12:30, shots were fired inside of Strozier Library, where as many as 400 students.
But we do have Eyewitness News reporter Lenitra Bennett live on scene at FSU with more.
Shonda and Art, students are alarmed by what happened here on campus today. Even hours later, there were some who seemed to still be walking around in a daze. They described the scene earlier inside of the Strozier Library. They described it as panic and chaos. While some were able to bolt out of the door, others had to duck and run for cover wherever they could.
And the guy came through and he just said, like, there's a shoot, yeah, he said there's a guy with a gun downstairs on the first floor and someone just got shot. You guys need to get down. And we all just sat there for a minute because we were just like, what's going on? And then he was like, I'm not joking, like, you guys need to get down. And at that point, like, everyone started running, and
where did people go? Did they go?
We were hiding behind bookshelves, and some people, all of us pretty much went behind bookshelves.
We just heard gunshots and, like, just ran to hide when someone said that there was a shooter.
And what are your thoughts as you leave now?
It's just scary. And
some students say they feel uneasy, but hearing that police are beefing up security on campus today, that has eased up some of their tension and some of the fears that they may have had. Counseling is available for students and employees at the University Counseling Center. On FSU's campus, Lenitra Bennett, WCTV Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Lenitra. Appreciate it.
We are following an early morning shooting in Tallahassee.
Emergency responders received that call just before 3 o'clock this morning. Eyewitness News reporter Lenitra Bennett joins us live with the details from the scene. Lenitra?
Good morning. There are still a few officers from the Tallahassee Police Department on scene. We're out here at Aqua Park Apartments on Old Bainbridge Road in Tallahassee. Again, as you can see, there are police officers, detectives still on the scene. I have been able to confirm that there was a shooting here. That is all we know at this time. That's all officers have been able to tell me. But we have been able to confirm that there was a shooting here at Aqua Park Apartments. It happened at Building 13, and that is where detectives and officers are still investigating. They're still scouring the scene to look for evidence. For now, live in Tallahassee, Lenitra Bennett, WCTV Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks a lot, Lenitra, for that update this morning.
Well, FAMU police have reported an attempted robbery just blocks from campus.
Officials sent the alert out around 10 last night. It happened on South Monroe Street near FAMU Way. Police say the suspect is a black man. At the time, they say he was wearing all black and possibly carrying a handgun. He ran in the northwest direction from the scene. Call Tallahassee Police at 606-5800 if you have any information.
Tallahassee police are now saying 5 attempted abductions so far this year are connected. At least 4 of the incidents happened near West Call Street. The other incident happened on Miccosukee Road and Commons Drive. Most recent one was last Wednesday. A woman says she was standing on Conrady Street when the suspect approached her, pulled a gun, tried to force her into a car. The victim fought back and got away.
First this morning on Daybreak, testimony will continue today in a Tallahassee murder trial. A witness to the deadly fight involving 2 men took the stand on the first day of the trial.
And Crystal Dubois testified yesterday in the trial of Lakodia Wooten. Wooten is accused of killing his boyfriend, Lorenzo Johnson, during an argument in October of 2013. The incident reportedly happened in Tallahassee in the parking lot of the Greystone Place Apartments on Jackson Bluff Road. Here's what Dubois says happened.
Lorenzo Johnson told him to put the knife down and fight like a man. Lorenzo Johnson swung on him. Lakota went over him, stabbed him in the back of the neck, and stabbed him in the chest.
Wooten's attorney claims that Johnson and Wooten had a tumultuous relationship with previous instances of domestic violence. He says Wooten was defending himself. The jury will be asked to decide if this stabbing was self-defense or murder. Well, straight ahead this morning on Daybreak, one man is dead after shots ring out in Tallahassee 3 separate times in less than 2 hours. Plus, a Florida beach is evacuated after a bomb squad finds some dangerous military equipment in the area.
It's going to be a big deal, especially when people don't come to Tallahassee often. I think it's going to help them reach out and vote for him.
Presidential hopeful Jeb Bush will be in the capital city later on today. Hear what folks are saying about the visit later in our show. And take a look at this. Overnight flooding hit streets in one state in the Northeast. Rob Nicotel will tell you what conditions are looking like for our area today in just a second.
Live from the WCTV studios, this is Eyewitness News Daybreak. Coverage you can count on.
This half hour, Tallahassee police officers responded to 3 shootings in less than 2 hours over the weekend, one of which killed a man. All the incidents occurred early Sunday morning. The first shooting happened around 1:30 in the 200 block of Wilson Green Boulevard. When officers arrived, they found a man lying in a front yard with gunshot wounds. The man was identified as 19-year-old Samuel Branton. He later died from his injuries. About an hour later, shots were fired in the parking lot of the strip mall at 2020 West Pensacola Street. The suspect fled the scene but was later found off Miccosukee Road in a domestic violence call there. TPD was able to charge 22-year-old Michael D. Smith with attempted homicide and discharge of a firearm in public, among other counts. Finally, about 3 a.m., an argument broke out at a large party in the 100 block of Barberville Drive. Thereafter, gunfire erupted. We're told no injuries reported there. If you have any information regarding any of these 3 cases, please call Tallahassee Police. A woman is behind bars in Live Oak after she's arrested for murder. Live Oak Police Department officials say 22-year-old Casey Kaysen is accused of fatally stabbing 22-year-old Elena Sortica. They say that Sortica was stabbed in the neck yesterday afternoon. The incident reportedly happened at a home on 5th Street around 4 p.m. Live Oak PD is continuing the investigation into that incident.
Well, first on Daybreak, one person is dead following a crash in Tallahassee.
We have Eyewitness News reporter Chris Groh live on the scene right now with all the details. Chris, what can you tell us this morning?
Art and Shonda, there aren't many details that are in right now, but FHP can confirm that this right here behind me, this was indeed a fatal crash early this morning. Now, troopers are still out here investigating the scene. Now, I've been out here just a little over an hour myself, and they got here well before me. But what I can tell you right now is that this portion of southbound Monroe Street, US 27, it is still closed off right now as this scene is being investigated. And like I said, when more details roll in, we will be sure to bring those to you. FHP troopers say that an information release is to be coming soon, but what I can tell you again is that this is a fatal crash earlier this morning, and portions of southbound US 27 are closed off right now. But when we get that more information, we will bring it to you. Back to you, Art and Shonda.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. That, of course, that stretch of North Monroe, so a busy traveled area.
Really is.
Out there.
Yeah, that's a huge traffic problem this morning, that's for sure. The bomb squad was called in for a military weapon that was found on a Florida beach. Take a look. This is video of the bomb being detonated yesterday afternoon on St. Pete Beach. This caused the evacuation of the area. The bomb was found around 8:30 yesterday morning by someone walking along the shoreline. The object also had barnacles on it and had appeared to have been submerged for a long time. First this morning on Daybreak, we continue our coverage of a chemical tank explosion in South Georgia that killed a worker.
Bainbridge Public Safety says the man was on top of the 1 million gallon chemical tank, a liquid transfer, making repairs when it exploded around noon yesterday. Now his identity is set to be released later today. Inside that tank was a very flammable sodium hydrosulfide, which is used in paper pulping and manufacturing dyes. Well, dozens of firefighters from stations across South Georgia were called to the plant, which is just south of Highway 84. The blast left behind brown smoke and a chemical smell. About 15 to 20 homes were evacuated. Residents living nearby were put up in a local hotel for free thanks to the Red Cross. Well, the Leon County School District is getting close to $800,000 as part of a settlement for the 2010 BP oil spill. District officials say the claim stems from a loss of taxable revenue for our area. Superintendent Jackie Pond says they'll use the settlement money in this year's budget, but adds he doesn't know specifically where yet.
We'll still have these dollars to place in, and these will be extra revenue that we've determined, and how we're going to use it to meet the needs of students in this county will be determined over the next few weeks.
The state of Florida received more than $3 billion from the settlement.
Right now, first this morning on Daybreak, Florida legislators have a deal on a new state budget that would allow them to avoid a shutdown of the state government.
Late last night, Republican budget negotiators traded final offers on a nearly $80 billion spending plan. The agreement means legislators should be able to vote on the budget later this week. House and Senate budget chiefs were able to reach a final deal by adding roughly $300 million for hometown projects into the budget. Legislators usually pass a budget in the spring, but this year the lawmakers were at odds over. Florida wildlife officials have come up with a quota for bears that can be hunted during this year's bear hunting season.
And one local university has a work plan approved by the Florida Board of Governors. Eyewitness News reporter Charlene Cristobal joins us with more on those stories. Charlene?
Well, Art Shondo, Florida wildlife officials have finalized the quota for next month's black bear hunting season. The FWC voted to stick with its original proposal of 320 bears. That's a little more than 10% of Florida's black bear population. FWC has already issued more than 1,800 hunting permits. The black bear season is the state's first in more than 20 years. FWC officials also discussed a new conservation plan for the Florida panther. The drinking age is 21 here in Florida, but 18-year-olds are allowed into bars. However, the bar scene has gotten 3 FSU football players, all under the age of 21, in hot water. Jameis Winston, Dalvin Cook, and DeAndre Johnson were all investigated after allegations from women in bars. All 3 players were 19 at the time. Winston was accused of raping a co-ed. Cook and Johnson were accused of punching women. A Tallahassee jury found Cook not guilty of that incident. State Attorney Willie Meggs questions the wisdom of being underage in a bar.
Makes absolutely no sense to me, but so it would strike me they ought not to even be allowed in the place.
It's been more than 25 years since lawmakers looked at trying to keep everyone under 21 out of a bar. Just about every proprietor in the state complained. And we ask you your views about people under 21 in bars. A viewer under the name of Kirk Sanders says if you can join the military and go to war at 18, you should be able to drink at 18. And another viewer, Sue Krause, says there should be a nightclub for young people who are under drinking age, They should not be forced to hang out with a bunch of obnoxious drunks. And you can continue to leave your thoughts on our WCTV website, our Facebook page, and Twitter as well. And FAMU President Elmira Mangum has presented the university's revised work plan to the Florida Board of Governors. BOG members met in Gainesville. Yesterday, Mangum, along with the FAMU provost, discussed strategies to attract more students and promote science, technology, engineering, and math. When the original work plan was presented in June, board members said FAMU needed to set more aggressive goals.
The performance funding model suggests and commands in order to receive funding that we have to change those outcomes. And in order to change those outcomes, we need to address the differentiation between the expected outcomes and the outcomes that we believe we have been funded to make.
One board member warned that some of the goals may be unrealistic, but in the end, the Board of Governors approved the 2015-2016 work plan. Art, back to you.
All right, thank you, Charlene. The debate over whether to allow guns on college campuses is now in a Tallahassee courtroom. Pro-gun group Florida Carry submitted an appeal yesterday arguing against a 2014 case that banned guns at the University of Florida housing. Florida Carry says the students have a right to possess firearms where they live.
It's force somebody to waive a constitutional right in order to gain the benefit of attending a public university. If that's true, then the universities could require students to waive their Fourth Amendment rights and have their rooms subject to search at any time.
Well, UF says a student does not have to live on campus. They can live off campus if they want to keep a gun in their room. Campus carry bill failed in the state legislature earlier this year. The legislature is expected to take up the issue next year. As for the appeal, there is no timetable for a ruling. We took to our Facebook page and our website to ask your opinion on this issue. A viewer under the name of Jerry Glenn says, "I think putting weapons on campus is just asking for more trouble on campus." Another viewer under the name of Kylie Taylor says, quote, "I think it's great. The ones who will legally carry are not the ones causing the trouble. If we have more good guys that carry, we can stop more of the bad guys." We would love to hear your thoughts on this. You can head over to the WCTV Facebook page. Let us know what you think.
Good, and it is Seminoles fans' favorite day of the year. Well, one of them at least. People are starting to line up outside the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center in Tallahassee in hopes of getting the chance to meet some of their favorite football players. Eyewitness News reporter Alicia Turner joins us live from the Civic Center now. Alicia, how's it going out there?
Natalie, I'm standing outside of the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center, and one thing is clear. Football season is here. And as I'm standing here, you can see behind me that there's literally dozens of people already lined up. And of course, that's what we expected considering thousands came out for last year's Fan Day. Now, of course, Fan Day is the chance for people to come out and meet their favorite players, the cheerleaders, as well as a chance to get to meet the coaches. And of course, the doors for this open at 11. The event doesn't start until 12 and it goes until 2. And after that, fans are invited to come out and watch an open practice where they'll get a chance to see what exactly is in store for this upcoming football season. And coming up, we're going to hear from some of these fans and what they're expecting for the 2015 football season from Florida State. But for now, live in Tallahassee, Alicia Turner, WCTV, Eyewitness News.
Wow, up early. Thanks, Alicia.